And look, they can hear you now.
What?
Yep, we're live. You said 5 more minutes. It was 5 more minutes.
Oh, you are absolutely correct. All right. Well, hello everybody, and thank you to those who are here in chat tonight watching live. It is greatly appreciated. And those of you who may jump on and watch this either on YouTube or at a later date here on our screen, we also greatly appreciate it. It means the world to us here. So, for those of you who've never watched before, or just chiming in or jumping in new, we'll do a little quick recap from our previous sessions. So last week, our players had finally caught up with their quarry, Lucen, and he is apparently attending a masquerade party this very evening. Our players spent last week dealing with some various characters and stuff, getting their costumes from a man named Porthos Jewelhammer at a place called Julius Scissors. They have costumes. They may or may not have an invitation. We will see how that plays out. I know how it's I know if they have a valid forgery or not, but it's up to everybody else to tune in, watch, and see how that goes.
The moment your DM rolls for you and says, "Okay, we'll see how this plays out next week."
It
Yep.
wasn't that. He laughed and then said it.
I did laugh. Oh yeah.
And that's why we probably don't have an invitation.
And so they're going to attempt to infiltrate this wonderful masquerade ball in very wonderful costumes, such as, I like to point out, Wolf's puffy shirt. He's all puffed up like a pirate in a puffy shirt. I don't want to be a pirate, Jerry.
He ran away.
So just so you guys know, Wolf, who just stepped away for a quick moment, he is playing Randall the Agile, a dwarf paladin of the Silver Flame, who, after many years of serving his people, has since, well, spent some time alone in deep meditation with much drinking, and now has returned to the world with much drinking, and is now once again working because he still believes in the greater good and what they can accomplish. He does not waver that. And then we have Navari, the tiefling swashbuckling rogue, who is a freelance spy now after her time during the last war. And she is also searching for lost loved ones in this campaign. So with that all said, we will be ready here to start. So as I stated previously, last week we ended, you guys had forged invitations. Navari actually forged invitations that she feels extremely good about. Like she had a good look at what the invitations look like because Porthos, who designed your costumes, was also invited to the party and is very excited to see you guys there. And because he showed you the invitation so well, Navari got a great look at it, and she was able to return to where you guys are staying, and using, the items she had nearby, she was able to create forgeries. So you guys should be able to get in tonight. Now that said, I guess I'm just going to ask very simply: is there any other preparations you guys want to make before this evening's celebrations?
Do you think they're going after the top person, Randall?
What is that? What?
Do you think they're going after the richest person?
You mean the vampire and his sister?
Yeah.
To be honest, for all we know, they're meeting up with their master.
Okay.
I mean, it's anybody's guess, Navari. I have no idea who they might be meeting here. It's worth schmoozing a few of the uppity ups to possibly find out what we might. To be honest, I have no clue. It's not like we had a chance to interrogate either of them before I almost bashed in one of their faces and then, scared off the other one. But is it just DM? Is it the night of? Like we're on the next day, or is this the night before when we had just made the forgeries?
It can still be the night before.
Okay, because Randall would definitely go and spend about 5 gold and get like 2 or 3 or however many bottles of cheap whiskey he could get. And he's just gonna go back to the room that he's probably sharing with Failon.
Oh yeah!
And just down the bottles. He's gonna give 1 to Failon, and he's gonna drink 2 of them for himself, and basically get himself drunk and knock himself out so that he doesn't have to listen to him talk all night. Yeah, that's what Randall plans to do tonight.
So Navari, she's got her own room away, like, but it's close. It's close by, so like you guys can. What am I thinking? So like she could hear, right? And so Randall and Failon, you guys are drinking, and this is the slowest you've ever heard him speak, as he is not someone who is very stout when it comes to drinking. And for whatever reason, he starts singing, and like I'm just imagining this, like, so like from Navari's perspective, it's like that scene in Jaws when they're on the boat and they're all drunk and they're all singing.
She's never seen Jaws.
We will address that later. And they're all singing, and it's like, I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
And they're just getting a little bit louder and stuff, and like it just shows the boat rocking. So like you just hear this drunken sailor singing, and that's what I'm picturing until Failon passes out after an hour.
Yeah, the whole time Randall's like,
Can I go down and put in a noise complaint?
Absolutely, yeah, if you want.
Do that.
So thankfully this time of night, they're being loud and stuff, the tavern is relatively busy down below. So somebody does like bump, 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 try to knock on the door, and Phelan's like, shh, shh, Randall, being too loud.
Randall's still sitting in the corner on his bed, like leaning up against the wall.
Oh yeah, completely silent. Yep. But at least this time you don't have to listen to 2 hours, 3 hours worth of stories that are 50-50 maybe true.
Randall's like looking at his mug. It's getting a little low. He's like, Eventually he's like, just sitting up against the wall.
So
wakes
you guys
up the next morning. Yep. Next morning uses 5 hit points to cure himself of his poison from the night.
Splitting headache, and he's like, "Oh, Randall, what did you give me?"
Whiskey.
His accent changed.
Oh,
that's a good point. Well noted, Navari.
He's like, "Well, I think I'm gonna sleep in a little bit. Skip breakfast."
And you'll see Randall with a smirk on his face and a wink to Navari go, "Good idea!" Real loud hand clap.
And he's like, "Oh,
yeah, don't let the door hit your ass in the way in."
Quick, let's go find a hot tub.
I thought that was for the after party.
It's true. Wanna know what we should do though?
What's that?
Go see if anyone's sold a coffin lately.
We could look into that. That seems like an odd thing to inquire about, though.
It's true.
I'm not too sure how many undertakers are going to be thrilled that somebody's asking about coffins.
I don't know. That was just a suggestion. This is your mission.
It is our mission, Navari. You have equal stake in this. You're getting paid for it.
That's true.
You're getting paid handsomely from what I've been told.
I haven't been told a price. Handsomely is a matter of Handsomely is a matter of opinion.
What does the word handsomely generally imply to you? What's a figure a rough number that comes to mind when someone says you'll be handsomely rewarded?
How many do you think?
No, I'm asking you.
I know, I'm asking how much do you think? That
I have no bloody idea. I'd say like 1,000 gold, at least.
Probably.
Based on you.
Yeah. I would think for like what her lifestyle would ensue, at least 1,000.
Yeah. I'd guess somewhere in the ballpark of 1,000 or more.
No, that's about right.
Or 100 platinum.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yes, but it's a lot easier to carry 100 platinum than 1,000 pounds of gold, essentially.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, and 100 platinum is like, like not paying somebody in pennies.
Yeah. Especially in the places you tend to frequent.
I don't know what you're talking about. I pay with all coppers all the time.
I feel like you would have been thrown out of many of the establishments I found you in. If you ever did that.
I'm just thinking of like the scene in Dodgeball when he opens the briefcase and he's like, gonna offer $50,000. It's just one little bundle of money. That's all I'm picturing.
Yeah, the realistic equivalent of what 50.
Whatever the amount was. Yep.
Yeah.
Dodgeball game, 50,000. Okay, so
if you can dodge a wrench, then you can dodge a ball.
No one makes me bleed my
wrench at Failon.
No one makes me bleed my own blood.
So, oh,
welcome to D&D.
Where we make references to sometimes things you've never seen before.
I hope everyone's seen Dodgeball. It's such a great movie.
It is pretty good. So
is Jaws, though.
Do you guys want to investigate further into the coffin thing, or or is there some other preparation you want to make before the party tonight?
What do you want to do, Randall?
The only preparation I can think of is to possibly, like you had pointed out, trying to uncover who our mystery thief or our mystery person our thief is trying to be meeting.
I mean, the higher up was the Na or Grell. I can't spell, so I randomly put the name down.
He's supposed to be meeting with.
Did we actually find that?
Naya or Krell. Oh, so we did hear that's who we believe.
Yeah, that's like the whole the party. Like that's the contact.
She's like the richest lady.
Yeah, she's a socialite ambassador.
Yeah, there's what's his name from the costume mask shop?
Yeah, Porthos has unfortunately talked a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. So Porthos believes that Naya or Kel might be the person that our intrepid thieving team or brother and sister combo might be after.
Mm-hmm.
Are they after her, like trying to kill her, or meet up with her?
Probably meet up. Probably trading. She might be the one who hired them to steal the relic in the first place.
Yes, it is. That could be possible.
I should probably notate that so I remember that later when I'm drunk.
You don't want to see how bad my notes are.
My notes are actually pretty fancy over here.
Mine are like or written like.
Oh yeah, no, mine's all on my character sheet. I type it. So much easier. As far as preparations, I have nothing. I would probably go to one of the higher end places and seek out getting like a nice bottle of either, if I could find it, dwarven whiskey, but if not, the weaker stuff like elven whiskey or
elvish wine
or even worse, human whiskey. No, I've got a cask of wine, but basically I'm looking for a nice bottle to bring with me to the party.
Okay.
That I can keep in one of my deep pockets.
Okay.
And also to refill my flask. And
gotcha.
That illusion, by the way, extended to my flask, so my flask looks like a platinum plated flask with
Oh
jewels
yeah,
encrusted along it. And then hidden in one of the jewels is actually a very subtle silver flame logo
cool.
that like you'd have to look like really close at to actually notice it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's there. It's actually like
Yeah.
hidden throughout all of my clothing. There's like just subtle silver flame
Okay.
things, but you have to be looking. Like it's hard to
Yeah.
see. He purposely made it hard to find because
So what
he
you're saying is
knows
you're like,
he's undercover. It's just
yeah.
yeah. But he really believes in what he does and who he represents. The armor, so what I had described to you was like this like gold armor,
Hmm.
like gold and silver armor.
Yeah.
For tonight, it shifts to a pure platinum, almost platinum mithril mix
Yeah. Okay.
with some light filigree of gold inlay to really pop certain spots and stuff. And then he actually has diamonds and rubies and stuff like that, like gems, precious gems or stones, encrusting like the collar to really bring out points and stuff. And then obviously just like basic finer clothing that he knows that he's worn or seen for like undershirts and stuff.
Okay. Yes.
While he's doing that, can I go find wherever sells coffins and see if I can get a little sneak peek at like if they keep a log of what they've sold?
Okay.
That would take like no time at all. It's literally the scarf you gave me.
I know. But while you're
I
looking for
literally
your
thought it, and
whiskey,
now
while
it's all
you're
done.
looking for your whiskey.
Oh, the whiskey. Yeah, no. I wasn't
All
sure
right,
how long that was
so
going to take. So, yeah.
let's see for the whiskey. So you guys are in Zilargo. Not only are you able to find dwarvish whiskey, Wolf, you were able to find something a little like aged. Like you found like a dealer. It was a very fine wine and spirit store, and like kind of brings you like some top shelf. This is like a reserve kind of thing. Like he doesn't bring it out to show everybody. It's not just on
Gotcha.
his it's not just on his like displays. Like you have to kind of know what you're talking about, kind of thing.
Right.
He's he brings it out to you and offers it to you, and he tells you it'll cost 40 gold pieces.
I drop him 50 or 5 platinum and say thank you for your service and thank you for bringing it out for me. And I take just a small like how much did he bring? Like a bottle, like a little 750
something.
bottle? Okay.
Yeah, like something you could like the bottle itself you could easily pocket.
Okay. So yeah, I take the bottle and I take just I have like a little flask that goes with my like, or not a flask, but a shot glass.
Mhm.
Essentially like a little wooden shot glass, and I pour just a smidge out just to smell and try and like swash it around in my mouth like like those fine wine tasters. And it's like how is it like super smooth or
The best way to describe it would be, yeah, it's got it's got a real good smoothness. You can taste that it's been aged for a tremendous amount of time, like especially because your palate be used to this kind of thing because of your knowledge of brewing. So this
yeah.
is a very finely crafted. So this probably comes from a larger production and then gets rebottled into something smaller to be more economical for just a regular person to be able to obtain.
And how old would you say it is so I can mark that?
50, 50 years plus or minus 10 maybe.
Okay. I'm just marking it on my character sheet.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. I
Okay.
appreciate your service, kind dwarf.
So Navari leads you guys kind of more to the outskirts of town, to where there's cemeteries, mortuaries, that kind of thing, to begin investigating, asking questions about possible coffin sales. You find
I
this-
mean, I wasn't gonna ask questions if I could find their book and just look at it.
Okay, so would you want to? So you'd rather sneak in and see if you could find records then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and I'm gonna have you just roll a stealth check for me.
Right. And I have advantage because the Cloak of Elven Kind, and anyone looking for any checks made to see me have disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I'm like over here picturing like you could have just asked Randall to help distract the owner.
I mean, you can distract him if you want.
Well, no, I'm letting you do your thing. I'm just standing outside the shop as you sneak thief around.
That is 23.
Nice. Okay. So you guys come across one of these shops. You see a couple of town guard out. You see the town guard standing outside. They seem to be asking questions and taking notes on something. So Navarre, you have no trouble at all slipping around the back of the building and just slipping in through an unlocked door. Nobody sees you. Lights are out. Blinds are kind of closed, and so you're in the back of the place. And as you look around on the ground, you can see that there appears to be a little bit of like big gouges in the floor from scratch marks from something being dragged, and you can see that there seems to be a few things that are just out of place. Like somebody was in a hurry, took something big, and dragged it out this way.
So basically, probably a stolen coffin.
Yeah, most likely, yes.
Okay.
Do you want to do any more investigating? Do you want to like eavesdrop? Do you want to look around in here more, or is that like kind of answer your question for you?
I mean, it answers my question. I mean, if I can hear anything, I'll take it. If I don't, I'll.
Okay, so go ahead and roll another stealth check as you creep up towards the front.
Of course. Just a 10.
Okay. So nobody's like looking for you, so I thought I was gonna sneeze.
Bless you anyway.
Oh wait, I still get the D4.
Yes, you do. For skill checks.
Oh yeah.
13.
Okay.
For your coming of age ceremony that Randall hosted for you yesterday.
I just
an odd ability that I seem to have. Not one of the things I expected to be doing today.
I mean, it's probably the last thing he expected too, considering she's much older.
So you creep up to the front, and you can like overhear bits of the conversation being had, and it's very standard kind of police work where they're just asking like, where were you? Did you take inventory? What do you have any idea who stole it? And the proprietor of the shop, the mortuary, he's just answer the questions. He's like, I don't know who would steal such a thing. It's such a an odd thing to have go missing, but it had to be somebody either working with another person to be able to carry the weight because it was quite heavy, and the door was locked in two places, so they had to have some tools to break in. But it didn't seem that like they had to. It didn't seem like the door was kicked in or broken into, which was weird. So like whoever did this was either a really good lockpick or somebody found another another way to navigate the place.
Okay. That's all I.
So Wolf, you're outside while this is all going on.
Yep.
What exactly are you doing right now?
I'm just chilling, waiting for the sneak thief to get back.
Okay, cool. All right, Navarre, go ahead and roll another stealth check to see if you can get out of here without any
26.
Nice.
I could
So
do
as
at
you
least
were-
one thing.
Yeah.
No, I was saying at least that's one thing I can
Oh,
roll
okay,
for.
yeah. No, so you slip away very easily, and as you're going out the back, they're coming back inside after it's part of the investigation, but nobody sees you or has any reason to believe that anybody else was there.
Mm.
Do you navigate?
Do the tracks go outside?
Yes, they do.
Okay. What direction do they go? Can I take note of that?
They go out the door and they take a left, which brings them down like an alley in the town.
Okay. Can I go back to Randall and tell this information?
Absolutely, yeah.
The coffin was stolen and dragged, and no signs of break-ins, so they're either good locksmith or pick lock, whatever words. I'm great at them, I swear. Or
No signs of lock picking.
they could have lockpicked it, or it was something else.
Well, we know that the sister's magic,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's spells that can magically open doors.
Yeah.
Should there need to be such a thing to happen. I'd be willing to point them in the right direction.
I mean, if they miss the giant coffin marks on the ground, I'd be worried.
It's not so much. They might be suspicious that the person they're tracking might be a vampire or something of that sort, but there could be lots of reasons to steal a coffin.
Yeah.
I mean, magical rituals aside, and the potentiality of, being broke and needing a funeral or anything like that.
Yeah.
Coffins aren't generally cheap.
The problem
they wouldn't be.
is,
Not from this place, especially.
The problem is, do you think if these people are meeting with O'Grarrel, whatever name is, do you think the guards are essentially working for her, or?
I don't have a deep political knowledge, Ben, but in a city like this, is it feasible to think that the guards would be on a payroll of these political figures in the city? Or does this city have a tendency of being on the up and up and a little bit more like it's unheard of for a guard, like they have an honor code system kind of thing, so they wouldn't actually succumb to that?
Go ahead and roll a knowledge history check.
Great. 8.
Okay, so based on your dealings in Sharn and other larger cities, a lot of guards pick up a little bit extra money by either being informants or hired help or spies to anybody who has enough money. Sometimes it's motivated by morals, where they'll be like, I'm spying on so and so because they're from another nation, or other times it's just purely simple. I can make a little bit of extra money by passing information, collecting notes. So it's not always like malicious necessarily, but odds are good that there are plenty of guardsmen that are on somebody's payroll.
Yeah. I guess my real question then with that is, like, the underlying question is, are these the kind of guards that look like they'd be paid to look the other way for that said higher up? If they are on someone's payroll, that's typically what they are. Like, when I'm thinking somebody's being on a payroll, it's generally to either gather information for them that they couldn't otherwise gather themselves because it's in a security kind of thing, or it's to have the police basically look the other way when they do stupid, shady things.
So this place doesn't have a reputation for being a lot of crime. So you could infer that it's most likely like information.
Gotcha. Okay.
Being passed around, because information is power when you like think in turn of like court politics.
Right. Makes sense. All right. Well, telling them could be beneficial, but telling them, like you said, could be harmful to us as well because they might be warning
Somebody says
somebody.
something. Yep. It
Yeah,
can move up a
like
chain to the wrong person.
we might be alerting this Naya or Kel that we are that there are people following the people that she's to be meeting with, and that could get the meeting canceled. So I won't do it then. But did you have anything else to go on then?
The
Something
tracks
to-
lead into an alleyway.
Do we think we could? Well, I guess we could try. I'm not particularly good at tracking, and we don't exactly have a hearty ranger of some sort on our side to track.
I'm
So,
not the best at tracking.
are you any good at investigating scenes of crimes and whatnot?
Eh?
Well, you got to be better than me. A sight better than me.
On a scale of 1...
I am the blunt hammer that goes in and destroys the scene. You look like the precision tool that they bring in to extract that thorn in that lion's paw kind of thing.
On a scale
Yeah,
of
so
1
like,
to...
somebody gets the sliver, Wolf's kind of thing is like, check the arm. Navari, you're gonna suture it.
Like she goes in with the tweezers,
Yep.
Wolf goes in with the hammer and kills the lion. It's like, I guess we get some meat.
On a scale of 1 to 10, like a 4.
Yeah, well, that's a sight better than mine. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm less than that.
Oh.
I'm not stupid by any means, but
No, but just not. This is not your forte.
I don't have a keen eye for things, the details, so to speak. So if you'd like to give it a shot, I've got your back in trying to. Maybe a second set of eyes will help, but
Yeah, I mean, I could try.
Worst case scenario, we end up at the party anyway.
Hashtag procrastinating party.
Hashtag the rogue isn't as confident in her skill as the dwarf is.
Well, it's still pretty early in the day. I'd say it's like 11 a.m. So you've got.
Is
till
it time for
7.
11sies? What about
anything to avoid this scene that I spent a while building?
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Is that it?
Yep.
No, that's okay. So Navar, you want to see what the where the coffin went to essentially. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go out back of the building and you're acting in an unscrupulous manner. So go ahead and roll me an investigation check to see what you can pick up.
To my help?
Yeah.
Do I roll at advantage? Or do you roll? How's it work?
Roll with it. You're
With
really
advantage.
quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. It was an 18 and then it turned to a 4. Yep, it turned to a 4. So that's an 8.
That was the better roll?
Yeah, the other one was a 2.
Oh no!
I would have rolled a 12 flat, so.
So Navari, you're back
Sad.
there, and you can see where these there's divots right in the road, and scrape marks. There's maybe a few splinters from where the corners of it bounced on the cobblestone, and you could see wagon marks right from the wheels of a wagon. And they're in the alley, and then they go out to the road. And the problem is when they hit the road, they are you just lose them so quickly because there's just so much traffic of different kinds.
I'm sorry, Randall. I'm more sneaky type, not detective type.
Yeah. So what you can basically what you can infer is that they dragged it out, had somebody with a wagon.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's no fault of your own. This is a high traffic area, Navari, and to be honest, they probably didn't drag it the whole way. That was hopeful thinking. And to be honest, without the keenest of eyes, we probably weren't going to notice which wagon tracks to follow on this road.
Yeah, this would be a very difficult task for really anybody.
But
Unless they were there.
on the bright side, we have one advantage now.
What?
We know they're in town.
Yes.
Which means We
Oh,
know
yeah.
exactly how fast they got here, which we didn't know before.
Yep.
Which now we can expect them at this party. So disguising ourselves just became a whole lot more important.
I mean, I said that to begin with.
Yes, but we didn't know that they were going to be here. I mean, we left them 2
You didn't know
days
they were gonna be
behind on the
outside.
road.
Yep.
Hmm.
I didn't expect them to actually make it to this party on time.
Oh, I was assuming
To
they
be
would.
honest. Oh, well. That's the difference between you and me. You're always expecting trouble. I'm just, ready to kill it. That's some good whiskey. I'm going to have to save some of that for the party. Right. So
Wait,
do
are
you
you
have any
gonna
other
share?
What's that?
You gonna share?
Oh, yeah, I've got a you see Randall reach into one of these like pockets. It looks like his hand just disappears into his side. He pulls it out. He's like, "Yeah, I got a whole bottle of it. Would you like a little?"
Sure.
And he takes out the little flat or the little shot glass and he takes off the cork and he pours a little bit into a shot glass and hands it to you, Navari. And then he corks the bottle and sticks it back in his pocket
Drink
through
it.
his leg.
I'll drink it.
I mean, it's an illusion, so
Yeah.
I'm literally wearing an illusion right now.
Yep.
I'll hand the top back to him after. Hashtag procrastinating.
Oh, right. Well, come on. Why are you so scared of this? I mean, you did great work from what you said.
That was out of character.
No, that was in character. You said you did great work.
Yeah, and
Let's
as far as
go.
Randall can tell, it looks good from what he remembers.
Yeah. It looks perfect. Let's go.
It's only 11.
I mean, do you want to get day drunk?
I am shaking, yes.
Oh, you're shaking your head, yes? Randall always down to get day drunk.
Sure. I'm sure they do mimosas somewhere.
Yeah, Failon can help you find mimosas.
Failon doesn't get to know about the fine bottle of dwarven whiskey he's purchased because that's going to
I
be
thought Failon was resting his hand. Oh, go ahead.
Failon? No, he's not with us. He wouldn't have been with us for that because he keeps
No.
disappearing during the day.
Yes, he does, because he has his own activities.
Yeah, you were going to say illicit things.
No, I wasn't.
Quick,
I heard
let's-
the word illness.
No.
New plan. New plan. Let's go find Failon and bug him.
I'm just ready to kill time until we have the party to make it to. I have no more errands that I need to be running.
I mean, I suppose I could do stuff, but I really don't want to. Also, I want to bug Failon.
All right, let's go find Failon.
All right. So you guys go back to the inn where you've been staying, and you go back up to your room, and of course, once again, he's missing.
Of course.
I want to go look for Failon.
So you go
He's not
downstairs and ask, like if they saw him. They say, "Oh yeah, he that really fast talking fella left about an hour ago. Said he had business to attend."
You know which way he went?
That's a good question. Said something about seeing somebody on the dock. Now, I'm not sure what he would have meant by that.
I'd also like to point out, madam, or is this a male or female bartender?
Female.
Female. I'd like to point out, madam, that if you ever want him to be quiet or slow talking, just a little bit of the strong stuff. Doesn't have to be expensive either. The cheaper the better, really, but it slows him right down.
Oh, she says, I don't mind him at all. He's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, try traveling with him for a week or two. That gets old real quick.
She says, well, I suppose it could. It's been so long since I've traveled anywhere. I kind of miss the road. But anyway, yes, he said he had to go see somebody on the dock. And I'm not exactly sure which docks he meant, but...
How many docks are there?
Well, primarily 2 here in Trollenport. We have the Sky Dock for the airships.
Definitely not
And-
that one.
Yeah, I
And we
doubt
have,
he'd be there.
the piers for the sailing ships out in the Glamour Bay.
To the piers.
We'll assume he went to the piers, but to be fair, Navari, he might have gone to the sky dock.
Do we want to
Not-
split up?
No, I don't want to run into trouble again. And I've seen your guys' track record. Now, granted, Ashara's not here, but that doesn't mean anything for your guys' track record with bad things that
What's
follow
my
you.
track record? Like
The
one.
Forge, the run-in with the General Krieg.
That was once.
That's twice. You had the Warforged in the bar.
Yeah.
And you had the General Krieg rerun in. Yeah, that's right. You just drink your wine. don't you be arguing.
Navari walks away.
Yeah.
She's just like, you know what? You don't you judge me.
Not judging. It's called insight. I've had a few encounters with you and your friends, and those that you call enemies, and
You haven't
yeah,
You haven't met many of my friends yet.
they're called frenemies.
Frenemies, yes.
They're the semi-friendly enemies.
Which ones?
You're right. I haven't gotten to meet the kobold, just the Warforged, and apparently this this Sir Garrick Krieg.
Oh, I'm not friends with them.
They're enemies. They're friendly enemies because they always leave behind their subordinates for you to kill.
Is that what makes them friendly enemies?
Yeah, because they didn't stay behind to do the job themselves.
Okay.
Listen, Sir Garrick is a busy man, with lots of things to do, and he personally has never lost a battle.
I think God's talking to us.
I'm hearing a voice. Is that you, mistress? You've never spoken to me before.
Never.
No, I
sign
would be
from
the
the heavens.
narrator, like in George of the Jungle.
Or better yet, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes!
He gets another.
gets
Yes. He gets another shot.
Wait.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets another shot.
Wait, that's not right. I'm not supposed to lose.
I lost.
Alright, we're really good at derailing.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
All right,
somebody's
so
really
where
good at
were we?
derailing 'cause he doesn't want to
So you guys
get
want
back
to-
her check.
You guys want to figure out where Failon is.
Correction. Navari wants to find out where Failon is because Randall gets enough of him every night.
That's true. That's very true.
I want to know the shady stuff he's doing.
Well, the last time he had a care package with us when we were coming out of that glass field in the Mornlands.
The care package?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it was. He did some kind of business though. When we were in town with the cannon, I believe it was, over by the Mornlands.
Yep,
Why didn't you
salvation.
tell me this?
Oh, I didn't realize I needed to tell you about Phelan's business.
You don't have to.
I just happened to notice it, and then I, while we were traveling, while I was recovering, I made a point to snoop about and to see the hidden compartment he has in that wagon of his. It's good to know.
Yes.
Good to keep track of the things he's trying to smuggle across borders.
I suppose it would be like if you're traveling with somebody who's possibly doing some illegal or illicit things, or just some frowned upon things. It's good to know what they're up to. Make sure it aligns with your own morality.
That's true.
Well, and not only that, but
it's
stealing things is not good.
That's truly the only reason Randall doesn't want to split up. Make sure Navari's not doing that stuff.
I mean, I already expect that you do it anyway, so it's just assumed at this point that you do it. I am not the most perceptive of people. I don't notice everything. So if you're stealing things,
Steal
you could
it
be
from
doing
you?
it while I'm standing right next to you.
That's true.
So what
Yeah.
you're saying is, if I'm stealing things, steal it from you.
If I catch you, you're gonna lose something. Probably a hand.
Oof. I need them.
You're not Newt, are you? You can't grow that crap back, can you?
No. I'm a tiefling. I'm basically human. Just with horns and a tail.
Yeah, then you don't want to lose them fingers or hand. That'd be real detriment to your profession, I think.
True. Or it'll help
Again,
make
I don't care that you
or
steal
it'll
from
help
people.
make a really good story.
The day the party disbanded because Navari stole from Randall, got caught in the act, and Randall just like, nope.
No, I meant sob story. Make people
Oh,
feel
yeah?
bad. Just like
Oh man.
Alright, let's just go. Continue on.
Okay.
We'll speed run it.
So you guys ready for? So we go into the party
Oh,
or the
Make one
ducks?
roll to see if you can find Failon.
I rolled a 6 plus whatever, probably not high enough.
So unfortunately, on the pier, you do not run into Failon. You guys spend a couple hours looking for him, enjoying the sights and sounds of the bustling docks. There's a ship leaving for sail. There's a lot of loud noises. There's smell of fish. People like all sorts of like spices, hard goods being unloaded. People are brushing by you. I mean, everybody's in a hurry to go somewhere. Everybody's busy to work. There's a few guards or sailors relieving a ship to go off and revel for the evening. And there's also another ship that seems a little familiar, like one maybe you've seen before, but you
Is
don't
it-
see its
hold
crew
up.
anywhere near it this time.
Is it? Do I have the name? The Dancing Sprite?
Could be. It absolutely is. But
I
you
was
don't
like,
see Grandis, Coriander, or Trig, the sailors that you met before.
I don't see the gnome.
The gnome that gave us the fancy fireproof bracelet.
Yeah.
Yes. That you're quite sure he wasn't sure what it did exactly.
Pretty positive he didn't know what it did.
100% sure he didn't know what it did.
100% sure.
Randall is 100% certain he didn't know what it did, because if he knew what it did, we wouldn't have gotten away with it for 45 gold.
he
That's a
wouldn't,
fact.
he wouldn't have tried selling it to a tiefling.
Yeah.
That too.
No, I mean he sold
Well-
it under the premise that it was a beautiful piece of jewelry. It was
True.
That
true.
happened to be magical.
that happened to be magical. Yeah.
Also, there are tieflings out there that aren't only that don't have resistance to fire. Just saying. I'm just.
You
I'm just.
are you telling me about tieflings? Randall?
I am telling you about some of
Are
the
you
weird color
dwarf splaining
tieflings.
tieflings?
I was gonna
I
say
am.
dwarves splaining tieflings to a tiefling.
I am dwarf splaining. Not all
Oh.
tieflings are immune to fire. Yeah, that's right. You drink
I
your
cracked the bottle. That's it. Done.
wine. You know, if you could do that with a serious face, I'd probably believe it a little bit better. I
I'm gonna go
heard tale
drink.
of a blue tiefling once who
I
had
mean-
resistance to ice.
I wish this was actual alcohol.
Oh, don't we all wish we had actual alcohol? It makes the night go by so well. It just makes the night go.
Whoever wants to go drink.
Well, there's plenty of drinking to be done at the party.
Weren't you just down to day drink?
What?
I'm gonna go get ready for the party then.
I mean, I'm always ready to drink. I'm just, you wanted to look for Failon instead of day drinking, so we ended up out here for 2 hours.
We still have time. It was only 11. It only puts us at 1.
Well, we don't know how long it took us to get back to the inn to look for Failon and then to back out to Failon.
What time has it been?
It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon now.
What time is the party?
7 o'clock.
We got 4 hours.
We got 5 hours. What are you
We
talking
got
about?
5
Fashionably
hours.
late.
I'm already drunk. I'm just kidding, I'm not.
I was like, if you're already drunk, Randall's gonna be using a little bit more of his lay on hands to cure that poison. I need you sober going into this party.
Oh.
All right. So you guys ready to go?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Navari's getting ready, whatever that
Okay.
means.
She's getting dressed. She's putting on her beautiful mask.
I dressed its disguise self over my armor. I
Mhm.
do have that perfume of bewitching though that I'll use.
Okay. So
You
she
said
gets,
it had 8 uses?
so she
Now
gets
it's
some wonderful
7.
perfume and prepares herself. Randall, you get back to the room. You still don't find Failon.
Yeah, I didn't expect to.
He's still off doing whatever it is that he does,
Yep.
and you get
you
your
know,
hammer hidden within your disguise. You have your alcohol ready. You're all
I actually
dressed.
will not bring the hammer.
Okay.
I'm not going to bring the great hammer
Okay.
or the maul. What I will do is I am going to bring like a throwing hammer, and I'll just have that like inside of like the breastplate of my armor.
Okay.
That's underneath my actual armor. So like the thing is that if they did for whatever reason pat me down, it's not going to feel too dissimilar to what it should.
Gotcha.
That was the whole idea. So the armor I'm
Yeah.
literally disguised in is almost identical to the armor that
you're
I'm
wearing.
wearing. It's
Yep,
just
so that way-
way nicer looking.
Yeah.
I thought we've determined Navarre knows they won't be patting people down.
We established that they probably won't, but if
But you-
there's any like and the other side of it is if we get taken into like the VIP section or something like that, there's no saying that they won't pat people down
They
going
won't have
into
a personal bodyguard who would.
that do that
Are you
to stop you from
saying-
going in.
Are you saying I shouldn't bring my rapier, but instead bring only my dagger?
I would hide a dagger in your boot if that's what you're going for, yeah.
Okay.
Or
so keep,
wherever you roguish types hide your daggers.
So keep rapier at home.
I mean, I'm not bringing them all. That fancy jeweled one, even. Because that mall actually, I would just clean that bad boy up and leave that on display.
Mhm.
But I feel like this is a party where I would be shunned a little bit if I walked in with my freaking mall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
But the rapier, it's snazzy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could technically pass it off as like a decoration, but you're a lady. Like, I mean, a man would probably get away with that, but I don't think like unless you're like gonna portray yourself as a lady soldier versus like a just like an elegant lady of like, I don't know, some higher up class thing.
It's fine. I have 2 daggers.
So this is more of in my opinion, this would be more like of a cultural thing. So like 2 years ago, the longest war in the history of this nation ended. So like
Mhm.
people typically won't display weapons as like kind of as like
Right.
they're sick of warfare, right? So like this kind of an event, it wouldn't be something people would have with them because more so than anything else is just because like it's peacetime.
It's
Oh.
peacetime and they want to exude strength during this peacetime and confidence that the peace will last.
Mhm.
I'll just bring my 2 daggers and hide
Yeah.
them.
It's like we're not going into this party expecting to have to kill somebody. We're just prepared to have to kill
Oh,
somebody.
you're not expecting that?
I'd rather not
Okay.
get thrown in jail because we killed somebody at this party. Yeah, don't you shrug your shoulders, God. I know exactly what happens when you kill people at a fancy what-to-do party.
You take off
Even
running.
if they're undead evil sorts.
Do I have to
Shrugging
say
her
where I'm hiding the daggers?
No.
Okay.
I just assume to hide mine where it's less likely that they're going to find it.
Yeah.
and I have that capability with the big old breastplate that I'm wearing on this
True.
on this plate armor.
Absolutely.
Plus, I'm much better with a dagger or with a hammer than I am with a dagger.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like,
you're definitely better off with something heavy.
Yeah.
before we go, also like out the door, hidden or whatever, somewhere, for disguise self, gonna be not a tiefling, because tiefling's too obvious.
Yeah.
Probably human.
Okay.
it's different. How do you hide your? How do
There
you hide your tail?
is actually there.
Do you wrap it around yourself so no one touches it though? Because I feel like that would break the illusion.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's weird, but okay.
All right.
Just
so
having
you
a
guys
tail is weird.
are ready for the party. You have your wonderful costume mask. All right. You have
Yeah,
your
my golem
well
face mask.
forged invitations.
Yep.
And you get in the line. You walk through the gardens of the ambassador's suite.
How upset would you be if I just pickpocketed and traded invitations?
If you want to, go for it.
No. That'd
Okay.
be
I'm like,
metagaming.
Nahari, let's
That would be
trust yourself.
metagaming.
And you see through the line, you can see up ahead that the guards there are doing like a weapons check. So like, there are some people do have guards with them. And so they're taking the weapons from the guards and they're kind of like a coat check. So they're giving them, and there's like a structure that they're sending them to that's on the premises outside. Very few. They're not doing a full physical frisking of anybody. And you can hear like very pleasant music coming from outside, from the inside coming out, from a live band playing, and some different colored lights, because obviously they had some illusionists come in to decorate and enhance the atmosphere. And there's a few people outside that appear to have drinks in their hands and are chatting each other up, and everybody's wearing all sorts of different masks. The more affluent people, the ones that you are most likely going to coincide with based on your appearance, have more magically enhanced ones like yours. So you guys look like, not only do you belong, but you look like you're the upper class of the people who belong, based on the mask that you guys acquired.
Acquired.
And
Mask
it gets
we
to your
paid a
turn
lot
in
for.
the line. And you guys hand your invitations to the guards. They look
Yeah.
at them and they look up at you guys. They say, "Welcome. There is food in the entryway here. There's plenty of drink, wonderful live music, and we hope that you enjoy your time this evening." And you are passed on by as your immaculate invitations get you through the door with no trouble at all.
What was the
They
roll
are
then?
perfect,
Oh.
to put it simply.
I told you to have more confidence in yourself, lass.
What was the roll?
It was a
told
nat
you
20.
It was a
a
nat 20?
Nat
Yes.
20 and a D4. You maxed out the D4.
Yeah, you literally could not
Oh,
have rolled
plus,
a
I
higher
think,
result on
4.
this check.
Plus was it
Plus, I
intelligence
think-
or dexterity?
Intelligence. Yep.
Oh, intelligence is 2, and unless it's this, is it?
No,
Oh wait, no.
it
For
was
the
your-
forgery kit, it'd be plus 4.
So with the kit, then you double proficiency for the
28.
kit. So you
So
end up with like a
32.
30. You had a 32.
I had a
Yeah.
32.
You literally could not have done better. Nobody could have done better on that roll.
Also, yeah, I told her that today. Well, I think you had stepped away during my stream earlier, that I knew what her role was. And she's like, "Why would he tell you and not me?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's because I'm going to react the same way regardless."
I literally was anxious all day only because you said that, Wolf. Just so
you're
you
welcome.
know.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And that's not. I'm an anxious person too.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you for ruining my day, Wolf.
Hey, you got a nap. I don't want to hear it.
A nap. Didn't actually fall asleep.
Hey, Navari.
What?
Payback's a B when you stick Failon in me room all night.
So you
It's funny
saying
you say his name, because as you guys walk in, he comes up to you, Randall, and he says, "Oh, Randall, how you doing? I'm doing
Would
just
he-
fine and dandy."
Would he recognize me because he left after I changed before I changed. No, he left after I changed my armor. Or before I
Randall
changed my
has a
armor.
mask on too.
And I'm wearing the mask. And he never saw the mask because I never showed it to him. So
I'm a human.
I'm just curious because I also don't look
With
like
that
Randall.
roll, yes.
I was like, I also don't look like Randall because I changed
Oh,
my
that's
beard
right.
color and everything.
Oh, you changed. That's I forgot. You really okay. So you see a gentleman who is definitely Failon, and he approaches you guys. He says, "Oh, and who might you find travelers be? You seem to be new to this area. I've never seen you before. See, my name is Failon. I'm a trader and importer, exporter, if you know what I mean. I get things going and I make things happen. I do it quite fast and well. So if you ever want to look me up, you could just ask about me. I'm staying at a local inn over there, and there's some great meals to be had here tonight. Just trust me. You got to have some of these fine meatballs." Yeah, they're on little skewers like this big, and they're just absolutely fantastic. So, is there anything like bringing you here special? Is there anything you do? What do? You look like you were a soldier, or an officer, were you decorated? Did you actually see battle? Did you fight in the Mornland? Where were you on the day of mourning, if I may ask? You're just an interesting fellow, and the lady here,
How well dressed is Failon?
quite beautiful. He is wearing a very long coat, a plume, puffy plume.
Does he
His
look
mask is
okay?
very simple.
Does he look like he should be he's of the same class of what we look like in this
No.
party?
Absolutely not.
I
Like,
look at him,
He's definitely like beneath. He belongs here. Like he's
but
not
he's
like
below.
a servant. But you guys are better dressed and look more affluent than he does.
He looks like he's not of our circle.
Yeah,
I look at him and
like
I look
he's here.
to
It's almost like as if he's trying to like he sees money and he's like, I'm gonna go introduce myself because I'm gonna try to make if they're involved in business, I want to be involved with them because they are, you work your way up.
I look to Navari. I don't say her name, and I say, "I believe this one's below our class, milady. Let us go."
And I walk away.
So he looks at you guys like a little like heartbroken.
Yeah.
And just blinks a few times. And then as you walk by, he just parades over to the buffet and starts filling another plate. As if nothing happened. And then you hear him again, yes, how are you? And you just moments go by, it's like he recovered from the rejection, and he's just right back to talking somebody else's ear off.
Right.
Can I whisper to Randall? 5 gold says we're gonna have to save him later.
Make it 20.
Deal. Wait, hold up. Deal.
You have to check. I'm like, I've been paid for so many of your things lately. I'm shocked you need to check.
I have more platinum than gold, and I just spent a lot of platinum
then 2
on
platinum.
a fancy cloak.
It's only 2 platinum then.
So are you saying we don't have to save him? Because my money's on saving him. We have to.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, my money is that we won't have to save him.
Oh, okay.
That he'll somehow talk his way out of this BS. Did you like the accent change?
It was really good. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Every so often I have to throw on a different accent to fit into these much ado about nothing parties.
Have you been to a lot of them?
I've been forced to a few, and I don't much care for them. The voice you hear me talk normally is for, just basic everyday life. When I don't have to seem upper class.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
I don't like having to do it if I have a choice.
I mean, I don't blame you. Let's look around.
So you guys go inside to the grand hall, and you could see that. So like as you guys go in, you see that every wall of the ballroom has been festooned with black and white crepe, and drifting, darting magical lights provide the room's illumination. There's a quartet of elvish musicians playing in a far corner of the room, providing music for approximately a dozen dancers. About 40 other people sit at round tables or stand around the edge of the dance floor conversing in quiet tones, while servants bring them drinks and small tidbits of food. The ballroom's most striking feature is the costumes that everyone has. Host, guest, servant alike wears. Everyone also wears a mask, as a bunch of them are decorated with feathers, fur, sequins, jewelry, and many of the women here have long, exquisite gowns. Well, a lot of the gentlemen are wearing form-fitting breeches and vest that glitter with golden thread and the sparkle of gems. It appears about a third of the guests here are gnomes, because you are in Zalargo, which is predominantly gnomish.
Oh, good. They're not too much shorter than me then.
No, not at all.
What do we? What's the plan, Randall?
Well, we could divide and conquer the room, float around, listen, converse if we need to, try and discern what we might of this space and who is here, so that we may locate Naya or Krell, or try and keep an eye out for the brother and sister.
We would have to probably look more for their hair, considering masks are a thing.
Oh, I have a trick for that.
All right. So, what would you guys like to? So, you guys are in the ballroom.
How big is the space, Ben?
Um, it's kind of like it's a large hall, probably 100 feet long, like the main
Yeah,
thoroughfare by 60 feet wide.
60 feet wide.
Yeah.
So we know we're looking for an undead Navari.
Mm-hmm.
And I lean into her and I say, you know, one of the things that they taught me in the order is the ability to sense undead presence as a
Wonderful.
noxious odor or whatnot, and I can hone in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And this hall isn't so big that it would need me to use it more than maybe twice to discern every single guest in this place and where those two might be at if they are here.
True.
Would you like me to peruse?
If you want to, and I can go around and ask about what's her name? What's her name again?
Naya?
Naya
Or do you mean
or Aurel?
morale? Yeah.
Aurel. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't
It's
have
okay.
the name written down correctly, so it always confuses me.
Naya or Krell? Orkell, I guess. I guessed.
Okay.
And Naya was Naya, I assumed.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. So Ben, what I'm looking at is I have divine sense, which is the presence of strong evil registers you on your senses like a noxious odor, and a powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. As an action, I can open my awareness to detect such forces until the end of my next turn. I know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of me that is not behind total cover, and I know the type, celestial, fiend, or undead, of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity.
What?
Within the same radius, however, I can also detect the presences of consecrated or desecrated items or objects, as well as with like the hollow spell. So I'm basically going to walk, since I can walk basically before the end of my turn, I can activate it and walk basically 50 feet.
Hmm.
I'm going to walk 50 feet down this hallway. I'm not going, and I say 50 because I don't want to, I'm not rushing through the crowd
Yeah.
like a dead sprint. So I'm going to walk the 25 feet for my first turn with that activated to see if I notice anything, and then basically walk another 25 feet with that same thing to see if it is picking anything up.
Okay.
And then if not, I'll walk another basically 50 feet and activate it again.
I'm gonna quickly use the restroom while you tell him what he finds.
And the beauty of this, I don't have to chant. I just enact it, and I basically pick up the odor. Assuming they're in this, because you said it's like a big open hall.
Yeah.
So there's no cover for
Yeah.
them to hide behind. So they're gonna stay. Like, I won't know the sister's location, but I assume that she'll be nearby him. But I should be able to figure out exactly where he is in relation to the space if he is here. I don't think he
Okay.
realized the scale of the person tracking him.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Or were you expecting this to be a lot harder for us to locate him?
No. It's just it's
Oh, okay.
definitely like okay.
Yeah. It's one of the few things that I feel like most paladins don't get to utilize as often. And like when my
No,
paladin,
I'm just gonna say this. I love this.
yeah,
So as you walk through the place, you see people dancing, and I like picture that scene in A Knight's Tale before he's teaching everybody the Gelderland dance, so it's like
yeah,
very like normal, but there's a few that are a little awkward,
right,
and you see a lot of it's all like couples dancing, like they're not necessarily like romantically involved, but it's all men and women dancing together, things like that. Everybody's paired off that's
right,
dancing, okay,
okay,
and so you're walking through the place and you get to almost that edge of that 50-foot mark, and you get that sense something goes off, but it's from a couple it's a couple of sources, and it's coming from the dance floor. For one, like you feel the presence of someone who's an undead, and you see a man dancing with a woman out there. The man is wearing an eagle mask, and the woman is wearing a gold dragon mask, a very elegant mask, and they're dancing around and doing the whole thing. But something else gets your attention. It's like this overwhelming.
What was
like
the
an
woman wearing
object,
just before you go into it? What was the mask the woman was wearing?
a golden dragon,
Golden dragon. Got it. Okay, keep going.
and then like an item. You can't see anything. Like you just feel this object, like a stationary object, and it has that feeling of like an unhallowed evil presence, like just a dark shadow presence to it. Now, Navari, you're also kind of on the outskirts of the floor, and Failon sees that you're alone and approaches, and he says, "My lass, so could I invite you for a dance? Perhaps, I see that your friend here, who is awfully rude to me, has stepped away. Perhaps you and I could talk, seeing as that, you didn't have anything negative to say to me. I might as well invite you to the dance floor. Since this is a ball, we should dance and enjoy ourselves. We shouldn't just do nothing, That would be just kind of a waste of the evening, if you catch my drift."
I think of how to phrase things in my head.
Are you going to shoot him down? Is that it?
Sadly I have a few things I must do, but perhaps later.
Okay. So you're very polite about it. You're not just like throw a drink in his face kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. So he politely takes it. He goes off and he's like, "Well, thank you anyway." And he bows, and then he begins to just walk onto the floor and start dancing by himself. And then you see another person who's alone. A gnome goes up and joins in as his partner, and the two of them begin dancing around the room very elegantly. And Failon impresses you greatly with his ability. He's actually apparently a very good dancer, to the point where a few other people actually stop to watch because his steps are so crisp and tight, and he's just very skilled. So Randall, you are close to the dance floor, and you see these people, who give off that vibe, that like
Right.
that trip. What do you do?
The item that I sensed, did I get a location as to where, like, was it on them?
Yeah, it's on one of them for sure.
And I can't figure out if it was on him or her.
Correct.
Interesting. I will make my way back since it looks like they're going to be there for a minute. Like, how far does it sound like the song's about to end or anything like that?
You are not sure because this is a music that you're just not familiar with.
Okay. I will slowly make my way back.
Mhm.
If necessary, to blend into the crowd a little bit better so that I'm not noticed.
Okay.
That I'm watching these guys. I'm going to actually dance a little bit my way back.
Okay. I'd like you to roll a perform check.
I know you do.
Please.
One of the reasons why I also said no.
Navari's like, I'm not dancing.
So that was not as good as I was hoping, but 8.
Okay.
It's not awful, but it's
You're
not
learning
great.
as you go.
Right.
So it's obvious you've never done this before, so you do stick out. But it's not like you stick out in a bad way, because there's other people too. Like this is their first, type is with anybody learning something. So you're definitely Failon has more eyes on him because he's impressive than you. Definitely, a couple people might snicker, like outsider, but for the most part, nobody's paying you any mind.
Right.
I have a question.
Okay.
So the perfume of bewitching, it says advantage on all charisma checks. Would that be performance too?
Yep. Yes, it would. It is. I mean, it is. That's I have charisma, which is the only reason I was like, well,
no,
I have
this
at
is
least
for
a
me
halfway
in case.
No, I know. But that was what I was like. Could have shared some of that with Randall.
I have more, but it's perfume.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's very flowery, very, very feminine.
Mixed with me, it's gonna take on a right fine musk after a while.
I'm not gonna tell that joke.
I'm not gonna. I was gonna comment, but no, I'm not gonna.
But I do make my way back to Navari. It does appear that our cohorts, the ones we're after, are here, and it does appear that they have some kind of corrupted item on them. I assume that it might be the relic, that they've done something to it to cause its corruption.
Sorry, I was looking at chat.
Oh, I haven't even noticed. But yeah, so I believe that the ones we're after here, Lucan is here with his sister.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Lucan is wearing a eagle mask. And his sister seems to be wearing what looks like a golden dragon mask. And I couldn't discern who had the item. I could sense that the item was on them. I just couldn't figure out who had it.
Were these like the masks that I took from their bags? Look like?
No, these are different.
Okay. I didn't know if they were similar or not.
Now, if we walk back over that way, I can do this again, and we can absolutely pinpoint where they are and follow them if they should leave the dance floor or go anywhere else in this place.
Yeah. Sometimes following is a bit noticeable too, though. Do we need to find Naya or Rel?
Or Kel?
Or Kel?
I mean, realistically speaking, I don't care what happens to him so long as we get the item back.
I think that's a she.
It is not.
You said him.
No, okay. I was no, I was.
Oh, you were talking about Lucan. Like you're just like,
I don't care what happens to Lucan.
We're just gonna recover this relic that he stole. Yeah.
I just need the item.
Yep.
That's it. The people who hired us do not care what happens to him so long as we retrieve what was stolen. I would like to enact justice on him, but this is not the place. However, your particular skills might become very handy in discerning and retrieving said item.
Also, what do you want me to
Something
do?
tells me you have very light fingers.
Sometimes?
And you have a very bewitching personality at the moment, if I've been told correctly.
No comment?
You look like you really don't want to go over and do this, but this is literally
No, I
what you've been
can. I
training for.
can. I can. I was gonna comment on that comment, but
Which one?
the bewitching one.
So the song ends. Phelan and his new friend, the gnome, find a table, sit down together. The two of them begin drinking, and once again enjoying
great.
snacks and stuff. They're fairly close to you guys, so you could hear him just talk.
Clearly hasn't gotten enough liquor in him.
And it appears that the man in the eagle mask has found a different dance partner. If you're still
Okay.
watching for him,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and
I would
this
keep an eye.
person is wearing a blue dragon mask. As the woman in the gold mask, she has since left the dance floor and just going off.
Am I still within range of both of them? Like, would I still be within 60 feet of them? I mean,
You're in 60 feet of the man. And the
as the
item
lady.
is on him.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I'll use another divine sense to secure that I know
Yep,
that the item is on him.
You
Okay.
don't see it, but it is with him. That is
Yeah.
where the presence is coming from.
Okay. And it does appear that the relic is with him. So something tells me that tonight you are more apt than you've ever been between your coming of age ceremony and what smells like a very luxurious perfume I've never smelled before. I feel like you've got all the skills you need for this.
You want me to go over there and take something I can't see from him?
Well, I mean, when you dance, you have to touch, don't you?
Yeah,
You can't be discreet.
I can try. But
If
what
you'd like,
happens
you
if he
could
finds
always.
out?
Well, that's when your silver tongue would come in play, I would imagine.
True.
And you talk your way out of a situation.
Do you know where in the general vicinity it is on him?
I should have a rough idea, Ben. Just to go into it, it says that, yeah, until the end of my next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend, and same thing within the same radius, you also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the hollow spell.
Okay.
So
It's his glove.
the glove.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I know about the item that was stolen? Like, because obviously, my contact would have given me information in regards to that. Drozen would have.
Yeah. It's a sword that's magic.
It's a sword that's magic.
Mm-hmm.
And something tells me that's like a pocket dimension glove or something. Sorry, out of character.
But seeing that you are in place where
Yeah.
magical item, this is a more common thing. Yeah, it's definitely a way for someone to hide, like smuggle
a sword in without being suspicious. Yeah, they can basically have whatever weapon they want.
Unless you had a reason to thoroughly investigate magically that glove, you wouldn't suspect a thing.
Out of character, can I call it? Call something? He stabs rich person with relic of church, and church
I don't
gets
know.
blamed.
We'll find out.
Yeah, the hope is not to have him do that. I will say stealing the glove will be very difficult, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say glove is very, very tricky.
Although, depending on how charming you could be, you could distract him enough to be able to take it.
I can give you a reason out of character why it might not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as the two of you guys are talking,
Mhm.
a
Obviously,
noble
I'm keeping an eye on him, but yeah.
and sits down with you guys. He says, "That mask," and you recognize him. It's Porthos.
Oh,
Miss, that
Oh, yeah.
mask you're wearing, I didn't make that for you. Where did you get it?
my friend bought it for me.
Oh, you mean that lovely woman I met the other day?
Yeah, the tiefling.
She was quite enchanting. She bought it for you. I wish she had said something. Not to say that it didn't look lovely on her, but for you, it's just intoxicating.
I trust in her ability. She has a good eye sometimes.
As you should. She definitely does. I had to say something because that, anything that I make of that quality is such.
It's truly
It's
enchanting.
so recognizable. I
Yeah.
had to.
Behind Randall's fucking mask, behind his mask is just the biggest smirk. Like this guy.
It's just mesmerizing. I mean, the colors. It just brings out your eyes in such a vivid way.
Mhm.
They seem so. Those eyes of yours. They just seem so familiar. You sure we've never met?
Oh. Hmm. Thinks for a moment. Perhaps. Maybe a few years ago.
No, there's no way. I trust me. I never have forgotten your face.
Hmm. Hmm. Have we crossed paths before? Do you venture out
Oh,
much?
not anymore. Not for a long time since I've retired and taken on my true passion, which is creating beautiful works of art, whether they be mask, clothing, wigs.
Oh, you do wigs too.
Oh yes, I've even done for people who have suffered various injuries and things. I've even helped them replace digits and limbs. Not completely, not magic,
Mhm.
not healed, but so they can blend in better.
That is still truly remarkable.
Yes, so thank you.
Problem.
So I must ask, how do you know the ambassador?
Well, you see, then out of character, do I know anything from hearing around about the ambassador?
Go ahead and roll a knowledge history check, and we'll find out.
Can't wait to roll low and have to make up some stuff.
Or would I? Because I don't think he's mentioned the ambassador before.
Porthos, no, not to you guys.
So would that name ring any bells about what this place is and who's running this party?
Oh yeah, it definitely it's definitely they're referencing Naya.
Yeah,
Naya or
yeah. He
Do
mentioned
we know
Naya
any?
before.
Yeah, do we know anything about Naya or Naya?
What did you get on your knowledge check, Ashley?
18.
Okay, let's see.
Probably better than I would have gotten.
You know that she is a high-ranking diplomat in the Andarian embassy. And she's someone that she used to be part of, more involved in the government back in the country of Andor, but has since become, done diplomatic things. So she goes to Zalargo because bartering with the nation that has the ability to build airships and perhaps being able to broker some kind of truce or alliance with them and having good relations with them in the event of another war, or just in the event of the fact that if you have the ability to provide transportation or shipping at that kind of level across land, because if you can fly, you have more control over goods, over services. So for her country, so it would make sense that she would be here. And so this is another a gala event in hopes to create better relationships, learn more about people, and in some cases, ambassadors or people would want to be here because, again, you have spies and espionage. You want to get the upper hand on another house, another country, or another organization, such as the Dragonmark houses have representatives here as well that were invited. All
So
always in that goal to have an edge potentially over another person.
yeah. So do I know if I say that I'm like a diplomat, that would work then with that knowledge?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
could
you could
certainly
definitely
try.
you could definitely have your deception, your cover be that you're here representing an organization. Could be very minor, even. It like it's something, it doesn't have to be something huge. You could be representative of, say, the Silver Flame in the area, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're here to broker a trade deal with some, hopefully to
Yeah.
increase relations for a trade deal, because as they
Yeah.
say in Small Businessman magazine, which I read every month, business does not happen at the Radisson, but at Chili's.
Over a pint of Guinness.
Awesome blossom, extra awesome.
Can I just go ahead and say that I'm like a diplomat from?
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
small
And
group?
go ahead, since you are being dishonest, go ahead and roll a deception check as well.
With advantage.
With advantage. Because Porthos is definitely someone that this is going to work on. Your perfume, that is.
I was gonna say it's rank 1 and below.
Mhm.
I rolled real shady.
Don't forget your D4.
Oh god, I threw that. Even make it in. No. Stop.
In the box.
In the box. Wait. 13. I rolled real bad, you.
Okay, he said, "Oh, interesting, very interesting. Well, again, it was lovely to get to talk to you. You know what? I just realized I didn't introduce myself. I'm so incredibly rude. I am Porthos, and I made a mask for your friend Navari. Well, at least I thought it was for Navari, but my luck, behold, an even more wonderful woman is wearing it today."
Out of character. I don't think Navari said her name. Did she?
We're gonna pretend she did.
Okay. Just wanted
You know
to
why?
make.
Because I'm not gonna stop. Watch last week's episode.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just him randomly knowing her name or not. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, nothing like no. He wasn't like doing like.
Okay. Okay. Carry on then. Carry on. Sorry.
But yes, I am Porthos. Porthos Jewelhammer, and if you ever need something created for yourself, I work at Julius Scissors, which is in the upper district of the artisans' quarter of the city. It's actually very nice. It is right below the tower that casts a shadow over a good chunk of this city, where they dock those dangerous airships. I personally have no inclination to fly. It seems absolutely ridiculous that anybody would want to take a travel where they would have their feet so high up in the air. Those who do, I mean, good on them, but if an accident happens, I don't know what you would do.
That's true. It's more of like feet on the ground all times, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Or on a wagon where I can see the ground.
True.
Don't worry, Porthos. I'd have made sure that she found you just fine. As he's ignored me this entire conversation, and I've been standing there.
Absolutely, 100% has.
Yep, and I'm like,
He's just
interesting.
kidding.
It's like
But,
I'm over here.
And this handsome gentleman, I mean, wearing another piece of my work, I am so fantastic. I am just an excellent.
You see underneath the mask, a flask come out from underneath his robes, and
Are a lot of people here wearing your work then?
only the best, most tasteful people.
Mm.
Such as you see that woman in the gold dragon mask.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's Nea Urkrell, the ambassador. I made that for her a month ago in anticipation of tonight's event. It is actually made with real gold and has actual dragon scales
Ooh.
implemented into its creation. I cannot tell you how difficult it was to trade for those, but only the best for my clients.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, just a quick question. Nea was the golden dragon mask, not the blue dragon mask?
which means the blue dragon mask is probably his sister.
And what about, I think I saw another dragon mask. Wait, out of character, did I see the blue dragon mask?
You did
I would
see
have pointed, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, because the man wearing the eagle mask is dancing with her currently.
Oh, it's dancing with the dragon mask? Or the blue
The woman
one?
in the blue dragon mask. Yes.
Okay. I saw like a blue one. Did you make that one too?
I did not make the blue one. That was a competitor of mine. He makes cheap knockoffs. They say he's a what do they call him? Something Fire Song. You don't want to. He's okay, but his work is nowhere near as elegant or as flashy as mine.
I was gonna say it's not very good compared to the golden dragon mask.
Thank you. That is exactly how I feel. Thank you so much for the compliment. I know many people. If you want a closer look, I would absolutely be very, very excited to introduce you to Nea if you'd like to speak with her.
Look at Randall.
I look to Navari
You know what,
and I
I'll
go,
do it. So Porthos stands up on his chair and he says, "Oh, Nea, please come here. I'd like you to meet these most interesting people."
while he's doing that, I whisper to Navari, I'm like, Naya might be the target.
That's what I'm thinking too.
As he calls her over, does she start to move our way, Ben?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You keeping an eye on Golden Eagle Mask Boy, does it appear that his focus with the blue dragon mask woman shifts a little bit?
Go ahead and roll a
moves?
perception check.
Oh, goody. Wow, that's way better than I normally do with perception. I'm blind as a bat normally. That is a 16.
No, it doesn't appear that he doesn't seem to pay it much notice that she walks over, but I mean he does seem to be he's not as focused on his dance partner as somebody who's like involved with that person.
So it's
He
not
appears to
on
be scanning the room. It's almost as if like
he's
the
looking for
dancing and
someone.
stuff is he's conversing with her politely. He's blending in, he's looking around for people, looking at different things, but he's not like he's not drawn into her by any means.
He's not drawn into his partner. He's basically taking in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I lean back in as she's starting to make her way over to Navari, and I go, she may not be the target, but he's definitely looking for someone or something.
Mm-hmm.
So Nea walks up to you guys and approaches the table. She says, "Oh, Porthos, are these more of the masks you made? They are quite lovely indeed." She says, "I am Nea Urkrell," and she politely curtsies to each of you in turn.
I do the same and say.
And I was gonna say, and I take like a small knee, like a slow bow, and I grab her hand and I try to kiss it.
She allows you.
Yeah.
I do the same as she did and say I'm Luna Duskstone.
Okay.
And I'd be Randall Brightaxe.
She says, yes. So are you guys enjoying the party? Is it up to your how do I say this? Are you having a good time? Are you having fun? I hope Porthos isn't bothering you too much, but obviously you've already made his acquaintance. I could recognize his work anywhere, so I knew I had to talk to you, miss, because your mask is enchanting.
He did a very wonderful job with this mask. I heard about his shop, and I had it seemed very interesting, so I sent one of my associates to get it for me. Since typing things.
Oh well, wonderful choice. I'm so glad that you sent them to him because he is an excellent craftsman. Um, but Porthos, did you? And she kind of nods nonchalantly to him. Says, "Did you have you talked to that trader fellow, that one who speaks very quickly, Failon something or the other?" Porthos is like, "No, I haven't. You should. He's looks like he's just finishing up a dance. Uh, I think you two would hit it off quite well."
Of course, Failon's talked to her. Why does that not surprise me at all?
Do you know that man?
I do know Porthos very well. You see.
Oh no, not Porthos. The
Oh,
other one.
Failon?
Yeah.
Well, actually, we just met. He's an interesting fellow, to
Indeed.
say the least. Very interesting indeed. I recognize that he had a dragon mark from House Orion, but I don't remember actually meeting him ever. So that was quite interesting.
Indeed. He seems to be interesting. He talks very fast, though.
And he talks a lot, I should mention as well.
That is true.
A lot indeed. He mentioned something about coming here from Sharn with a tiefling and a dwarf who were hunting for someone.
Interesting.
Sounds risque.
I'm gonna have you guys both roll a sense motive.
What sense is that? Insight?
Insight.
Oh, insight, yeah.
Oh, I rolled a natural 1.
That's okay. I rolled an 18 total.
Okay. So Navarre, you don't pick up on what she's trying, like the double speak she's using, where she's trying to phrase things in such a way to really drop hints that she's kind of knows you guys a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Or she thinks she knows you guys, so she's trying to just be careful. So as far as you know, she has no idea who you are. But Randall, on the other hand, you pick it up and you realize that, okay, there's more to her than meets the eye.
Do I get the sense that while she's doing this double speak, that she's trying to garner more information from us and why we're after said people, or who we might be after?
Yes.
Sounds very risque. To be honest, I just recently got into town. Humble merchant myself, trying to bring up the standard, so to speak. Make the right contacts, if you will. Haven't had the pleasure of this Failon individual you speak of, though.
Pleasure is a word.
I'm sure.
He is not unpleasant. He's just exuberant.
That seems like a nice way of putting something like that.
She says, well, for a merchant, you are dressed not very humbly.
Well, I wasn't always a merchant.
And I was not always an ambassador, if you must know.
I get that vibe of you. You give that that air of importance beyond that of someone who served politically in a city.
Randall, would you care to join me on the floor?
Why not? I am learning the ways of the dance floor tonight, so hopefully I can't do any worse than I did earlier.
So she just says very politely, she says, "Just watch my feet." And it's quite easy. And like she walks you through the basic steps and the,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. The fancy
this,
clap.
yeah. And this dance isn't a very fast dance.
Okay.
It's a little bit more slower. So it's and it's got a good bass line, like bump, bump. So
Right.
it's a little easier for you to pick up, definitely.
Okay.
And so as you guys are dancing on the floor, she says, "I know a little bit about you, and no, it's not because of Failon. It's because a friend of yours sent a message to me that you are coming to the city."
I see.
I shouldn't say sent it to me. I should say, and she like twirls around. One of my agents informed
I'm
me.
like
of the
holding her out
message.
like this. I mean, I'm not super short. Is this a gnome or a?
No, she's a human, so she
She's
does
human?
stand a bit taller than you. But like she's danced with people of varying heights
Yeah.
before, because like she is an ambassador. So like it's very natural for her to adjust her steps to work with you.
Gotcha.
And she makes you look good out there.
And there's a little blush to the cheeks,
Hmm.
as he's not used to this kind of finery
Yeah.
and dancing with such a beautiful woman. And he says, "Well, if you've intercepted message that suggests that you know more than you're letting on, then you should understand that the people you might be conversing with are of a vile sort."
I never would have said anything to you. However, Lucan and I are old friends. He has done work for me in the past, but something's wrong. It's as if he's not himself.
Oh, that's because he's not, my lady. He is no longer himself because he used to work with us. He used to be a part of my order, my group, if you will.
This I know.
And he turned traitor and has stolen from us. And it is believed that on his escapade of thievery, he drained a few guards dry of their blood. And based on my encounters with him on the road to this town and the coffin that we destroyed, it's of a vampiric sort. His sister doesn't seem to be tainted by this magic or this vileness, but he certainly is.
So as you're dancing on the floor, Lucan has since left the dance floor between the song that you went out, and he has sauntered over to Luna.
Gosh dang it, why is everyone coming up to me?
Because you're very pretty with your very beautiful butterfly mask.
You unfortunately have a very flamboyant mask and very elegant, attractive look to you. So this like combination of things, you stick out. So people want to know who you are.
Yep.
And so
with a different
you
mask.
feel a very gentle but cold tap on your shoulder.
Okay.
And you turn and you see this tall, handsome fellow wearing the eagle's mask. And he says, "I don't believe I know you, but perhaps you'd like to join me on the floor."
Sure. Would love
Okay.
to.
This can't possibly go bad at
It
all.
will definitely go bad. Most definitely.
Hey guys,
will.
this party just went pear-shaped. Aruga, aruga, dive, dive.
So you're on the floor. You guys are dancing with your respective partners, making your way across the room. I want you both to make performance checks. Randall, I'm giving you advantage because you have assistance from your partner.
Hopefully I get a nat 20.
Oh my god.
I hope
I got a 19, so plus 2. I got a 21.
Yeah!
I learned from, like I said, I've learned. I'm getting better. I feel like the postman.
And I don't
Things are
get
getting
I don't
better.
get advantage.
Not on this roll.
Not for performance. Not with the bewitching.
It doesn't work
Work
on him.
But what about the people watching?
All right, fair enough.
You want me to give you 2 separate rolls then?
Yeah, let me know your first roll.
Oh, the first one was an 11.
Okay.
I'm curious about this item that she's got now.
The second one was
It's
a
like on the-
16. So,
Okay.
here, let me read it for you. It's a tiny vial. You can use an action to apply the perfume. It lasts an hour for the duration. You have advantage on all charisma checks directed at humanoids of challenge rating 1 or lower. Those subjected to the perfume's effect are not aware they've been infected by magic.
Interesting. So obviously, being a vampire spawn of some sort, he's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons it doesn't work on him.
Yeah.
He's probably higher than challenge rating 1.
Oh yeah, we'll start with that, and then we'll just keep listing them.
The fact
Yeah.
that he's
Like,
undead.
Most of the people in the room are just like, common folk. Like they're not adventurers, so they wouldn't really pose like a real threat. So for them, it does enchant like pretty much the room.
Yeah, that's mainly the only reason
Did
why
you roll
I'm
the
wearing-
d4 as well?
Oh, I didn't!
Oh yeah.
I get a d4 on both of them.
It's a pair party.
So the 11 becomes a 15. The other one add +3. I don't remember what the second one was.
It was a 16.
Okay. So it's a 15 and a 19.
Okay.
That's not bad. Randall is slightly outdancing you on the floor,
Gosh dang
even
it.
without the advantage.
Gosh dang it, Randall. I mean, I have
I've got a
inspiration if I
very-
wanted to try again.
I was like, you are very nervous with who your dance partner is, whereas I am very comfortable with mine.
Yeah. Help me, please.
Help! I need somebody. Help! Not
Help.
just anybody. Help! Come on, Randall body. Help!
All right. So you continue to dance around the room. He engages in small talk with you, talking to you about, what's going on, people that he's seen, compliments your mask, of course, your look. He asks you, very mundane questions, like what brings you here, stuff like that.
Mhm.
All the while kind of looking around the room, and Randall Randall the Agile, that's it. So Randall the Agile and Nea are definitely getting his attention because somebody is dancing with her who he was already dancing with.
Mhm.
Before you laughed at
Mari,
me, now you're jealous.
go
of
ahead
me.
and roll a sense motive check, please.
Hmm?
I mean insight.
Yeah. While you're eating, come on.
12.
You are not good at reading people for a spy. That seems like a really not good trait to not have.
I'm not. I usually get into things, do what I need to go, and then leave. Without being
Yeah, but being
seen.
able to read a room so that you know if you've been compromised seems like important.
I can't be proficient in everything.
Well, when you hit like I think level 8 for you or 6? I can't remember. You get more expertise.
Oh, okay. Well, I can put it toward that, but I'm level 4. I can't be proficient in everything.
What, you mean you didn't take skilled at level 4?
I did, or
No, you took elven accuracy. I
didn't know
being
skilled was
facetious.
a thing.
Yeah,
think I
skilled
missed
allows
it.
you to. I think it takes when you do that feat, it gives you I think it's 3 more skills.
I must
To
have
pick?
missed that then.
Yeah, basically you gain
So-
proficiency in 3 more skills of your choice.
Oh,
The
okay.
song ends.
Maybe.
Most people courtly bow to their partner who they danced
Mhm.
with, and the band kind of announces they're going to take a short break, and then Lucin looks at you, Luna Navari, and he says, "You are a lovely dance partner, and it is
Beautiful.
very shameful what I'm going to have to do." And in that moment, he reaches up in the air as if he's drawing a sword, but it materializes in his gloved hand.
Do it.
So he just draws this wicked long sword out, and he holds it to your throat. And that's what we stop.
Oh man, I was about to be like, some bad stuff about to happen to him.
I mean, it's about as much as I thought it would go.
Because I was about to be like, I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good on you.
A good thing I'm wearing
'Cause
my
that would've
armor.
been- Because I would have been keeping an eye on him.
Mm-hmm. Is it? Can we at least know if it's that one sword?
It is. It
Oh, it
absolutely
definitely
is.
is.
Okay.
It absolutely is. Because he reached up into the sky and the sword materialized from the glove.
Did you ever tell me what that sword is, Randall?
I don't know what the sword does. Just that it was a sword and a description of what it looked like.
Yeah, it's one of these things, like, I like to reference Indiana Jones a lot. Top men
Yeah.
were working on it. Like, they don't talk about it except for like in whispers, and people just unless you were in that inner circle, you would even have never heard of its existence.
So what I'm hearing is I'm gonna get murdered.
You'll get a chance. You're gonna get to roll initiative.
So what I'm hearing
And
is
you
I'm
might
gonna
be
get
able
murdered.
to. Yeah, you might be able to dodge out of the way.
Yeah.
Because if you're the thing is that, and the nice thing is, and this is something that I think gets lost on a lot of people with combat is being surprised, a round of surprise. If you roll a higher initiative than the person that's doing the surprising, then they don't get the surprise round on you.
Yep.
Because you're acting your turn, like you don't move or
choice.
anything.
You were ready.
Yeah, like you don't do anything before they get their surprise round, but they won't have advantage on you if they choose to attack you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's interesting, but Randall's really wishing he had his maul right about now, because his little baby hammer is not gonna feel very very good in this.
Thanks,
It's
Nate.
gonna be one of those moments where we end the party and Randall's gonna go, "Excuse me, milady, my friend needs a help." And you're just gonna watch him reach into his illusion, pull out a freaking hammer, a light hammer, to go and hit this guy with.
I wanted my rapier.
I
We
wanted my
should've-
maul.
We should have broken into the weapons place.
Well,
That's what we should have went to.
To be honest, though, I feel like we're gonna do enough damage on this guy as it stands.
We can
even with...
still do that. You don't have a sword to your throat.
However, like I said, that is where we're going to end tonight's session. My goodness, we had thank you all for who tuned in to watch. Thank you, chat, for commenting. Always very appreciated. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe or follow button so you know every time we go live. Because we not only play D&D on Thursdays here at Heart of the Game, but we do some other streams as well. As if you missed Monday night, after the first 10 minutes or so of the technical difficulties, which thank you, Ashley, for helping me get that all figured out. I do miniature painting, and so I just hang out and chat with people and paint models. Lately, I've been doing a lot of BattleTech stuff. We also look to be doing some board gaming here on Twitch as well. Everything, all the stuff that I'm going to do is going to be pen, paper, tabletop, because that's what I'm really passionate about when it comes to gaming. But if you guys want to spread the word, if you enjoyed it, say, hey, check out this game store stream. We always appreciate the love. We also have YouTube as well and a Discord. Yes, Heart Gaming over on YouTube. So if you missed past episodes and you want to catch up on the campaign, we upload them there. And amongst other content, we have some unboxing videos, Magic the Gathering deck techs, keyword videos, and future stuff as well. We're just trying to create some cool stuff to bring the game store to the world. And I always have to say thank you to my players who are absolutely fantastic. You guys are why we have a game.
Shenanigans.
Yes.
Procrastination!
But I had a great time, as I always seem to do with you guys. I really appreciate it. I cannot wait for next week to see how this plays out. Everybody out there, just be good to one another, be kind, be patient, and yeah, that's really all I have. So just be excellent to each other.
Shoot, is that my cue to stop the stream?
Until next week.
Oh, okay, now that's my cue.